All three of you have spent a great deal of time in your opening comments talking about the increased threat as a result of the conflict in the Middle East, and also want to bear in mind that we've seen hate crimes increase even prior to this conflict. I think the FBI report shows a 36% increase in anti-Semitic hate crimes occurring before the war as well. So this is indeed a significant threat, and I appreciate all of you focusing on that in your opening comments. But Secretary Mayorkas, one tool that we have to protect nonprofit organizations, particularly houses of worship, is the Nonprofit Security Grant Program. Could you tell this committee how important that program is and the need for additional resources to protect particularly houses of worship?
Mr. Chairman, the Nonprofit Security Grant Program is of vital importance to faith-based and other nonprofit institutions around the country. The funding that we distribute to thousands of such organizations enable them to secure their facilities so individuals of all faiths can attend their places of worship in a safe and secure environment. Whether it's the installation of cameras, the employment of security guards, other important security features, the funding we provide enables target-rich and very often resource-poor institutions to equip and empower themselves to keep their facilities safe. It is of vital importance, and that is why we have requested additional funds of Congress for that program.
Thank you. Secretary, the potential terrorist use of chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear agents is one of the most serious threats to our nation, as you mentioned in your opening comments, and you play a critical role in addressing these weapons of mass destruction. Unfortunately, the lapse in the Chemical Facility Anti-Terrorism Standards, commonly referred to as CFATS, authorities in July has undoubtedly weakened DHS's ability to regulate high-risk chemical facilities storing these weaponized chemicals. Could you explain a little bit more in depth what vulnerabilities were created when CFAT's program expired in July and why it's so essential that we extend those authorities?
Mr. Chairman, we review the security procedures that facilities around the country adhere to or are supposed to adhere to when they store and work with chemicals that can be used for destructive purposes. And as I said in my opening statement, about a third of the time upon our review, we find deficiencies in the security protocols, and a deficiency means a vulnerability, whether it's in the improper storage or it's in the hoarding of particular chemicals without the appropriate safeguards, whether it's the failure to vet individuals who deal with high-level security chemicals, the vulnerabilities that are created by the inability for us to enforce the chemical anti-terrorism facility standards is really a significant problem for our Homeland Security. I do respectfully urge Congress to renew that authority for us, especially at this time of a heightened threat environment.
Secretary, we also have another authority, the CWMD office that basically serves as the focal point for the DHS to counter these threats and others. That will expire on December 21st of 23. Could you explain as to why it's so important that we have an extension of that critical authority?
Mr. Chairman, we see adverse nation states conduct research with respect to their capacity to use weapons of mass destruction against the United States of America in the future. I met with our workforce in our CWMD office just this past Friday, our Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction office. They are fearful that their critical authorities that they employ every day to keep the homeland safe will indeed expire. I gave them cautious assurance that Congress would not allow that to happen because of the criticality of the authority that we employ every day.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Ranking Member Paul, you're recognized.